Okay. So finishing this up. This was the last piece on the stage. And I just got to keep making all these things fall. So deselect. I want to finish it up. And then delete. And then take this opacity all the way down. So it's really getting dark. And really revealing what's underneath. And now I'm going to take my charcoal. And I'm going to move it all again down. A little bit faster. Falling away. And then I'm going to see which ones are still visible. This one. Just tilt this a little bit as it falls. Push it off like that. And the other one that's still visible, this one, tilt it a little bit as it falls. And push it off like that. It's kind of coming off of it. All right, so it goes from this to this pretty fast. And then merge it all. Option, layer, merge visible. Command A, Command C, Command V, paste it in. Okay, now what I like is the tongue is going to get revealed last. And this is now why I'm thinking this concept works for the animation. It looks like a Christian god, but by the time you see the skull at the end and the lightning, it kind of can put it together. Oh, it's Zeus instead. See that little trick? Because the coin on the tongue is like a Greek and Roman mythology thing. I think it works. So that's what I'm going for. Clear that one, and now go to 0. And for the kind of glow effect, and with the charcoal, just move it all the way down. This is the last vestige of it. And then I'm just going to tilt this one, the last bit, and have it fall even more. Just overlapping a little bit. So I think that timing will work out. It's not going to be perfect physics, but let's test it. So I'm going to merge this one, Option, Layer, Merge Visible. Command A, Command C, paste it in. And now I can run it backwards. It's like he's armoring up. And I can run it forwards. And then I need the clean one, right? So before I run the animation test, let me just get the clean one. This is maybe the easiest frame of all of them to do. I just turn off the charcoal. And really the only thing still visible is my Scully guy. And I can decide, maybe this, I'll have it flash back and forth. What do you guys think? Maybe? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm thinking about how to make it, well, crossfade back to the beginning. Yeah, so I can do that. I can make it flash back and forth. So I'm going to save one just like this. Right. And then what do? I merge. This is my top most visible layer. Option, Layer, Merge Visible. Command A, Command C, Command V. Deselect, clear, and then turn it off. And then Option, Layer, Merge Visible, hopefully for the last time. Command A, Command C, go over to my stage, Command V. Now, I do not need to, this is going back to the beginning, I do not need to go back to my assets to rebuild this just to have it flash on and off. What I need to do, actually I don't even need to copy this layer and move it above. I can animate all of that on the stage. Okay? So next we're going to move from creating assets to make our shots. Now I've made all my shots. I'm going to clear my assets. So deselect, clear that one, and then save it. This has all the components for all of my shots. But now I am done with that assets file. Can close it. Now I'm on my stage and I have 21 layers. Maybe a little bit more than that because I have some copies, right? So save it. Now I'm going to output my animation. So I go to Window, Timeline. On my frame animation, in the timeline window options, upper right-hand corner of the timeline window, I say Make Frames from Layers. Then immediately I go to my timing script. And for the first 11 frames, I'm going to make it match this timing. It's a little annoying. Let's see, so it's 4916. I can remember that. So this one, 0.4. This one, 1 second. This one, 0.9 seconds. Then this one, 0.4. Okay, what's next? Oh no, it's 6, not 4. Let's change it to 6. Thank you. Yes, indeed. Now, is it really going to matter? The difference between 0.9 and 1? But you're right. You're right. That's why I copied it. If I liked it there, then I want to keep it accurate. This is my short-term memory test. Okay, so then I want 3613. 3613. You think it'd be better with all the verification codes you got to enter. So 3, 6. These are all fractions of a second. 1, that's a full second. 3. And it calls it a delay because that's how long it waits before it reveals the next layer. It's delaying the revealing of seeing it. So do these match? 3, 6, 1, 3. Yes. Then 8, 1, 4. 0.8. So after this, I should be able, then this would be 1 second. And then this would be 0.4. Okay, so those are the timings I used. Now all the rest are set to 0. So if I play it, those will go just super fast. Okay. So now I have to build it from there. A good default is usually about 0.3. So I'm just going to select all the others by holding down Shift, selecting the whole row of what remains, and set the timing to 0.3. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. Yeah. I think that works. So, what did I want to add on the stage? Well, I wanted to make this repeat a few times. So this is now called animating on the stage. You have everything out in the timeline. You're in the stage file. But now I can copy both of these frames by selecting them. And then I can click here, which is New Frames. But it will duplicate those last ones, right? So now it goes from this to this to this to this. It didn't add any pixel memory or information. It just played those same frames again. And I can do that over and over. Right? I can keep adding frames and staggering them and putting them in the order. So it goes dot, dot, dot. So let's see if the rule of threes, if that works. Now, I have in my sketch to crossfade it, which means to slowly fade this one out and fade this first frame in. So I'm going to show you how to do that, but maybe there's something more interesting I can do. Maybe like it's like a magic trick, because it kind of feels funny, like it's blinking and then all of a sudden the face appears, like he regenerates because he's Zeus and he's immortal. He can't actually die. So another way we can animate on the stage is what's called a tween. So this is my last frame, right? If I wanted to crossfade between this last frame and the first frame, what I do is I hold down Command. The last frame is selected. I go to my first frame, holding down Command, select that. So they're not all selected, just the last frame and the first frame, in that order. Then I click on this option, which is animating on the stage. This is the tween option. It will build the number of frames I want between those two frames. So I'm going to do 5. Excuse me. I'm going to do 5. Whew. And I'm going to then see what those 5 do. And you see how it fades one out and fades the other one in. The problem is, this is when you animate on the stage here, on the timeline, it programs the eyeball, it programs the opacity, and it programs the blending mode. So when you crossfade like this, it takes the opacity down here, but it also takes the opacity down here. And to get it to look like a real crossfade, I need to make the opacity 100% on each of these base layers. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm programming in the opacity so that I don't get that checkerboard to show up. Even though the checkerboard won't be in the GIF animation, transparency will. And I don't want the background of whatever website it's playing on to show through as it's starting to reset. So by setting all 5 of those frames to 100%, now the crossfade will be complete. Right? Like he's growing back his skin, I guess. So I can do it with that crossfade. Yeah, that kind of works. But to make it feel more like that kind of magic trick, why don't I speed that crossfade up? Not so it's instant, but so it's really fast. So I'm going to go to the fastest timing I suggest you ever use, which is 0.1 frames per second. You could go faster. You could go to like 0.01 if you wanted to. But 0.1, that's the fastest I'll usually do. Because what is 0.1 seconds? Right? That's 10 frames per second, right? What is professional animation? It's 24 frames per second. So you can go faster, but since everything else has been going pretty slowly, I don't want to make it too jarring. But now let's see how that ending works. Stuff falls away, he blinks, and then it immediately builds up. All right, is there anything else I want to do with it? No, I think that's pretty good. All right, so I've finished my GIF animation. Yeah, the lightning's kind of sudden, but I'm okay with it. Because that all pays off. Okay, good. So now, save it, Command S. Now we're going to save it as a GIF. And I think I've shown this to a lot of you before, but for those of you who have finished your GIF animation, this is now how we save it. We put it to canvas, and we move on to our refined storyboard, which I haven't shown anyone how to do yet. How much time do we have? So with the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to save it to a GIF and how to put it to canvas, and then the next video will be about making the refined storyboard. So all I do is I say File and Export, like in Photopea. If you do File, Save As, or Save a Copy, right? Save as a copy, and do GIF, I'm just going to show you what happens. You do not do this. Actually, I think it does work now. I'm remembering now in this new edition it does work, which is annoying, because it never used to. But let's see. Let's see if this actually animates. Sure enough, it animates. All right. So you can't just do it that way. Very fast. Very simple. It didn't used to work. It used to be that when you saved it just as a GIF, it wouldn't keep your animation script. It would only show you the one frame. So I'm going to show you the way you can really control all the animation settings.